Hello YouTubers, this is Big Tony here at Big Tony's Garage and I'm inside the 48 Ford F100. If anybody's following the build, I'll use 3 subscribers so far. I appreciate you, alright, and hopefully we get a lot more, 8 million one day, right? So basically I'm going to show you in detail what I'm working on. This truck that I have here, the undercarriage is, like I said, off of year 2001. But what I did is when I put the steering wheel in, I never took anything apart. That's what I'm trying to say. I never took the steering wheel apart. I just cut the inside off. I just cut the support right there, right? I cut it off the original truck so it could fit the cab, and I did the same to the other side over there, okay? So the way that I'm gonna put this back, and the reason why I'm recording this is because I want to show you more in detail. You know, I'm gonna have to cut this piece right here off. You know, it's not working anyways. I feel bad about that, or maybe I could find a way to slide. Oh no, wait a minute! I think it might work without me taking that off, but it might look silly like that. You know, it's gonna be pushed back a tad bit more. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is, in this piece, I had taken these screws off previously, these 2 right here, and 2 up here on top. Okay, so this, you know, was wobbly and it was loose. So you might say, hey, how are you gonna put everything back together? How are you gonna weld that properly now to the cab, right? And how are you gonna do that side too? And then obviously then attach the steering wheel, right? That goes there, it goes bolted up to the top. The angle, that's why I had to cut that piece out, because the angle that steering column is gonna go through, so it's gonna be pretty much stock like it was before. I mean, not at 100%, but super close. So I'm gonna use some 2x2 tubing and fill that gap, you know, measure up as much as possible perfectly, and then just weld it up once all this is put in place. Now I already bolted this side. Now I line this side up and I'm gonna bolt that in. And basically what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be able to mount that perfectly there. I'm gonna be able to put, you know, the amazing sound system that came with this vehicle is gonna be able to bolt right back up, and it's gonna look a little more decent in here. That other truck that I have, that one right there, I haven't done as much detail as that one. I don't remember how I cut it, or if I just took the pieces off, or I could build like a structure out of steel or out of wood or something, you know, nice. But this complements. We got the Virgen Maria right there, right? It's gonna look very nice in my old truck here. But anyways, that steering wheel is gonna come up a little bit. It's gonna come in through here on top like this, and the gauges are gonna be kind of sunken in, and I already have an idea of how I'm gonna do that. So I'm going to put this through the inside, this piece right here, which is the gauge cluster. This piece, I'm gonna somehow have this going like this, because that's how it goes. And like I said before, you know, I know you guys are, you know, some of you are upset that it's gonna, you know, it's gonna look decent, man. And I'll probably change that steering wheel out to, you know, like a GT or something, and it's gonna be like a fun sports, you know, hot rod on a budget kind of deal. And even on the gas, because it's not gonna have, you know, a big giant motor in it. It's just a cruiser. It's a 5-speed. It's got AC in it, boom, and everything's over there. I haven't taken anything apart, you know, so everything should work as it should. Okay, so that's what the plan is for today, to finish that up, and then at least cutting the pieces. I'm gonna use 2x2 square tubing, and then be able to have an exact fit so that I could weld it up on both sides, get all this wiring out of the way, keep everything tucked under, and then start attaching all the components, you know, putting all the grounds together. I was able to fire it up on starter fluid. For those people that were starting fluid that are following me, I had a hard time getting it started, and this battery crapped out on me, so I ended up getting another battery that it was there originally, and this is working better. So right now it's charging, and the plan for this is to have it, you know, running, have it going, and me be able to move it around, which I really don't have to, but it'll be nice to move it over a little bit more this way, out of the way. All right, everyone, so basically what I'm doing here on this beautiful day, as you can see, we have a clear sky. It's probably like in the maybe early 80s, maybe 81, 82. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going to take you on a little, I'm going to take you underneath. You see that? I put a 2x2 piece of steel, and that's pretty straight right there and level. Problem is, obviously, at the top of that tube, there's nothing for me to attach it, so all the pressure is right against that on the edge of it, the very edge of it. So basically there's a trick to everything, right? So what I have to do is build myself another piece of steel to go on top of it, and to marry all those pieces together. Marry the cab to the actual structure that supports the steering column, right? And also on this side, it's a little closer. I don't know if you can see, but it's a little closer right there. See, there's a little less of a gap right there. But once I put the proper steel in there, that's actually, squeezing it together, that'll be helpful. Now that looks rusty, but believe it or not, that's just surface rust. And obviously the cab is 1948. So what I'm trying to say is, for all those people that know how to weld, I'm not telling you that I'm an expert, and maybe I shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff, but you know what, you only live once, and if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna do it later. And I got the ability to do it. I have the tools. So all I know is you got to turn that welder up high. You got to turn it as high as possible so that it could, at least a little, little tiny welder, crap welder that I have, and then that should do the trick. Okay, I've done this before with the frame. I put 1/8 steel plate on that other Mitsubishi Mighty Max frame, so it's stout. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that's going to stay there, and I'll make sure that it's welded on properly and that it's crackling, what I mean, properly, right? Like I'm cooking frying some eggs on the pan, that sort of thing. Okay, so stay tuned for more information on how do you put this structure back into place. I don't know what the name of the structure is, but it's the support bar that goes across, that holds the steering wheel up, and that keeps it stable so you don't end up smashing somebody or whatever the case may be. I have the screws, and there's another piece right there that slides in to, so there's a distance. Obviously it's dropped down, but that's not gonna line up perfectly. Okay, so I might have to, there's a piece that goes here that slides in. Those people that know these vehicles or any kind of vehicle, and I have to find that piece. So make sure, boys and girls, that whenever you do this kind of work, that every single piece that you have, which I did, I just don't remember exactly where I put it. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at where I have all my stuff and be able to find that piece. Okay, everyone, so basically this is how it's gonna look. The gauge pretty much fits like this. Some modifications that I'm gonna do is there's a little chrome piece that I'm gonna put around. This is as best as it's gonna look. The bottom piece, I can make it better. I'm gonna put a plastic or a steel thing. As you can see, like I was telling you, it did go right through. See, so I did have to cut it off. I'll cut it off. It's all bolted in. Okay, so it's like it's supposed to be. I did put the radio. I haven't put the radio in basically, but I did put the AC. It's mocked up. I took the piece off that was hanging right here and took it off. Yeah, but it's coming along. You got power to the components here, which is good, and it's gonna sit just like that. Okay, it's gonna look a little nicer. I'm gonna put a little chrome piece here, a trim, just to give it a little bit of cornering, smoothness looking, so yeah, that's basically it. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I already posted the videos, as you can see from, you see little tiny, pieces of, videos like this, but what I'm trying to tell you is, as anybody knows, this takes time, and then me editing takes another time, and I'm not, I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better, okay? Yeah, it's this sits now. This seat's gonna go in there, and I have to mock it up right there and make it fit right, once I organize all those wires in there. But yeah, man, this truck is pretty much, good to go. Yeah, I like it without the fenders too. It's kind of cool to me. This will go better. Look the way the hood looks like that. Just put some headlights in the front or something, right? That's cool. Alright, so anyways, thank you for watching, Tony. Till the next time, I'm gonna try to post every week a video of what I'm doing. It could be this, or it could be making a motorcycle. As you can know, you're gonna see right here, I make motorcycles out of steel. Believe it or not, I make motorcycles out of steel. Okay, so you're gonna see it up here at some point, or over here, some pictures, so you can see the things that I do. Alright, so once again, this is Big Tony. See you guys later.